Leon?
About that actually.
Leon, did somebody join? Hari Om.
सुप्रभातं बाबाजी।
सुप्रभातम्। हरि ओम्। विनायक नमस्तुभ्यं सततं मोदकप्रिय निर्विघ्नं कुरु नो देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामः सिद्धिर्भवतु नो सदा। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीराम राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं रामनाम वरानने। आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम्। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। श्रीराघवं दशरथात्मजमप्रमेयं सीतापतिं रघुकुलान्वयरत्नदीपम् आजानुबाहुमरविन्ददलायताक्षं रामं निशाचर विनाशकरं नमामि। श्रीरघुराम चारुतुलसीदलधाम समक्षमादिशृङ्गारगुणाभिराम जगन्नतशौर्यरमाललाम दुर्वारुकबन्धराक्षसविराम जगज्जनकल्मषर्णवोत्तारकनाम भद्रगिरिदाशरथि करुणापयोनिधि आञ्जनेयमतिपाटलानं काञ्चनाद्रिकमनीयविग्रहं पारिजाततरुमूलवासिनं भावयामि पवमाननन्दनं। यत्र यत्र रघुनाथकीर्तनं तत्र तत्र कृतमस्तकाञ्जलिं बाष्पवारि परिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं नमत राक्षसान्तकं। बुद्धिर्बलं यशोधैर्यं निर्भयत्वमरोगता अजाड्यं वाक्पटुत्वं च हनुमत्स्मरणात् भवेत्। कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलम्। अद्यतन पंचांगम जुलाई 5, 2024 क्रोधिनाम संवत्सरे उत्तरायणे ग्रीष्मर्तौ आषाढ़मासे शुक्लपक्षे प्रतिपत्तिथौ शनिवासरः और स्थिरवासरः पुनर्वसु नक्षत्रम till 6:18 p.m. followed by पुष्यमी नक्षत्रम. It's a very good day. A new month started, Ashadha Masam. Very special for Gurus. Guru Purnima is going to come soon. And Punarvasu Nakshatram, that of Sri Rama. Vyaghata Yoga till 5:17 p.m. followed by Harshana Yoga. Kyustugna Karanam till it is already over 6:52 a.m. followed by Bhavakaranam till 6:55 p.m. followed by Balavakaranam. Sarvebhyah Suprabhatam. Like always, I have been so busy that I'm not able to make slides anymore. So we will do dynamically. I think last time we did till 69, where both of them apply that sap to their heads. Jatilatvam adharayat. I think that is where we stopped last time. Lakshmanasya atmanaschaiva Ramaha tena akarujjataha dirghabahur naravyagro jatilatvam adharayat. I think that is where we stopped last time. Correct?
Yes, Babaji.
Yeah. I think we'll continue from the next sloka. तौ तदा चीरवासिनौ तौ तदा चीरवसनौ
तौ तदा क्षीरवसनौ
जटामण्डलधारिणौ
जटामण्डलधारिणौ
अशोभेतां ऋषिसमौ
अशोभेतां ऋषिसमौ
भ्रातरौ रामलक्ष्मणौ.
भ्रातरौ रामलक्ष्मणौ.
So till now we saw Rama in one Vesha, like the prince, royal prince, in the most rich, luxurious dressing and all. But here onwards, we see him suddenly now they have changed into a different form. Tau, those two, who Rama Lakshmana, Tau, Tada Chira Vasanau, they were already wearing Chira saris. Chira as in very bark made cloth. It will be very rough and hard and not posh style. So Tau Tada Chira Vasanau, Jata Mandala Dharinau. They have a mandala, a circle, a whirl of jata, long hairs already turned around on their head. With that, Ashobhetam, those two were appearing, glowing and appearing like Rishi Samau. They were equivalent, they were looking exactly like two rishis, two young rishis. Rishi Samau, Bhratarau, Rama Lakshmanau. So, Tau Bhratarau, Rama Lakshmanau. तदा चीरवसनौ जटामण्डलधारिणौ तदा ऋषिसमौ अशोभेताम्. Is how the Vigrahavakyam comes of that shloka. Tatah Vaikhanasam Margam.
ततः वैखानसं मार्गम्
Asthitas Sahalakshmanaha
आसितः सह लक्ष्मणः
Vratamadishtavan Ramaha
व्रतमादिष्टवान् रामः
Sakhayam Guhamabravit.
सहायं गृहमब्रवीत्.
So now he did two things here. Tataha Vaikhanasam Margam. Vaikhanasa is one of the, even today, Vaikhanasa is a sect within Vaishnavas. Within Vaishnavas, there are several type of sects, several sampradayas. There is Sri Vaishnava, there is Gauda Vaishnava, there is Vaikhanasa Vaishnavas, and so on. So Vaikhanasa is one of the ancient ones. I mean, it is coming from the Vedas time. Narada, etc. All of them are the Vaikhanasa sampradayas. So Vaikhanasam Margam Asthitaha Saha Lakshmanaha. Along with Lakshmana, Rama has a Vratam. Vaikhanasam Margam Vratam Saha Lakshmanaha Ramaha Asthitaha. That is one part of it. So he has taken up now onwards not only the Vesha, but even the Anushtana also of a Vaikhanasa. So far, he was like a Raja, Kshatriya. So Kshatriya's Anushtanam will be different, could be different, slightly different, less strict and less stringent. But now he has taken up the Rishi's Anushtanam. So here onwards he will be following Vaikhanasa Margam. And Ramaha Guham Sahayam Abravit. So he then sort of asked for a last hand, helping hand of Guha. Apramattaha bale koshe.
अप्रमत्तः बले कोशे
Durge Janapade Tatha
दुर्गे जनपदे तथा
Bhavetah Guha Rajyam hi
भवेथा गुह राज्यं हि
Durakshatamam Matam.
दुरारक्षतमं मतम्.
So he's saying the last sort of advice, well wishes, good wishes to Guha. He's saying, Guha, apramattaha bhaveta. Be careful, be vigilant always. I mean, be conscious. Apramattaha. Pramattaha means forgetful, careless. Apramattaha is be careful. Be careful because you are the head of your tribes here. So be careful. Apramattaha. Bale in what? In Bala, in your army, because he is the king. He is giving the king instructions to another tribal king. He's saying Bale in your armored forces. Koshe in your treasury. Durge in your fort or in your boundaries of your land. Janapade in your inhabited areas where people live. Tatha, in all these aspects, be very conscious, be very careful, always be vigilant. Vigilant bhavetaha. And Rajyam durarakshatamam matam. Rajyam, that is kingdom, is always Rajyam he is saying. See, because the kingdom is always, certainly, is always durarakshatamam. He has used two qualifiers here. One suffix of tama. Tama means most, superlative degree. Tara tama. Raksha, rakshatara, rakshatama. Rakshatamam, it has to be utmost protected. And to protect that, he has given a prefix called duh. It is very tough to protect the Rajya. You have to be continuously on the lookout, always looking out for intruders, for any attackers, invaders, or within the state itself, there will be rebels, etc. So you have to be constantly be vigilant, have your spies look out for any disturbances in the state. So it is dukkena rakshatamam. It is very, very difficult to take care of a kingdom. Matam, that's the opinion, right? That's a known, that is what we believe. So he's saying, apramattaha gha apramattaha bhavethaha bale koshe durge janapate tatha. Kimartham rajyam hi durarakshatamam matam. So to reserve and protect the rajya, arakshatamam, it is very, very difficult. And so be careful there. That's all. One good suggestion he gave. And tatastam samanujnaya
ततस्तं समनुज्ञाय
गुहमिक्ष्वाकुनन्दनः
गुहमिक्ष्वाकुनन्दनः
जगामतूर्णमव्यग्रह
जगामतूर्णमव्यग्रः
सभार्यः सह लक्ष्मणः
सभार्यस्य सह लक्ष्मणः
सभार्यः सह लक्ष्मणः. So tataha, after giving these instructions, Ikshvakunandana, the delight of the Ikshvakus, tam guham samanujnaya, by giving these instructions and by sort of letting him go, meaning, okay, now you may leave Guha. That means I'm going to leave. Samanujnaya, avyagraha. Vyagraha is very agitated and all. Avyagraha, in a very calm, composed, balanced manner. Avyagraha. Sabharyaha, along with his wife. Saha Lakshmanaha, along with Lakshmana. Turnam Jagama, he set out to depart. Turnam is swiftly, quickly, he left out to move on from there. Satu drishtva nadi tire
स तु दृष्ट्वा नदीतीरे
navamikshvakunandanaha
इक्ष्वाकुनन्दनः
titirshuhu shigragam
तितिर्षुः शीघ्रगाम्
gangamidam lakshmanam abravit.
गङ्गामिदं लक्ष्मणोऽब्रवीत्.
So Sat Drishtva. So while he said bye and waved hands to Guha and all, he walked further toward the end of the deck. And Saha Nadi Tire Navam, Saha Ikshvakunandanaha Nadi Tire Navam Drishtva. by looking at the boat waiting for them at the shore, at the end of the shore. Titirshuhu, he became he wished to set out sailing. And Shigragam Gangam, he wanted to cross the Shigragam. Tartum Icha Titirsha. Titirsha Yasya Saha Titirshuhu. The one who wishes or wants to cross the Shigragam Gangam quickly is Titirshuhu. So Saha Shigragam Gangam Titirshuhu. That means he wants to cross it quickly. And that too, that Ganga which is flowing Shigragam, flowing very swiftly with heavy currents and heavy force. Shigragam Gangam Titirshuhu. Lakshmanam idam abravit. In wanting to cross it quickly, he said this to Lakshmana. Arohatvam naravyagra.
आरोहत्वं नरव्याघ्रः
Sthitam navam imam shanaihi.
स्थितां नावमिमां शनैः
Sitam charopayan vaksham.
सीतां चारोपयान् वक्षं
Parigrihya manasvinim.
परिगृह्य मनस्विनीम्.
So he said this to Lakshmana. What did he say? Naravyagra. Rama is so happy or so proud of Lakshmana that he is using all the titles given to him also to Lakshmana. Atma Samaha, Bahipranaha Iva, he says, right? Lakshmana, for Rama, Lakshmana is like his pranas. There are pancha pranas inside, and this prana that is outside of his body is Lakshmana. That's how Valmiki describes Rama's love for Lakshmana as. So he's calling him Naravyagra. Vyagra. Imam Navam Tvam Aroha and Shanaihi, he said. Be careful, slowly, because we are used to boarding Ratha, and Ratha will be stable on the ground. Unlike that, Nava will be floating, will be flipping. So you have to very carefully hold the rail and then board it so that it doesn't flip and you don't fall out. So Imam Navam Shanaihi Aroha. Sthitam Navam. Sthitam is this stalled or parked, the parked boat. Board it now, slowly, carefully. Then he said, you board first. Then Sitam Charopaya. Now, then you give a hand to Sita and board her. Help Sita to board the Nava. So Sitam Charopaya Anvaksham. Anvaksham means along with the, by asking her to hold the beam there or a collar or the rod that will be there, right? Ask her to hold with one hand there, you take one hand. So Anvaksham. Anvaksham is by giving a helping hand. Manasvinim Sitam Cha. Parigrihya Manasvinim. By holding hand of Sita, you give her a lift into the boat. Sitam Charopaya Anvaksham Parigrihya Manasvinim. So he is giving instructions. After those two board, then Rama boards. Because then finally he will have to turn around one more time, wave hand to everybody, and then board. So, and as a political royal protocol, he will be boarding last. So, in that order they are boarding. Sabhratu Shasanam Shrutva
Sabratuh Shasanam Shrutva
Sarvamapratikulayan
Sarvamapratikuulayan
Aropya Maithilim Purvam
Aropya Maithilim Purvam
Arurohamat आरुरोहात्मवांस्ततः.
आरुरोहात्मवांस्ततः.
Very good. So Saha means now Lakshmana. Saha Bhratuhu Shashanam Shrutva. By listening to the instructions of Rama, Sarvam Apratikulayam, by ensuring that he is following everything, not acting against it. Sarvam Apratikulayam, without any following it right, 100%, perfectly. Aropya Maithilim, he has helped Maithili Sita to be boarded. Aropya Maithilim Purvam, by helping Sita board it first, Purvam, Aruroha Atmavan Tataha. Then Lakshmana boarded. So, what did Lakshmana first say? Rama told Lakshmana, ask him to board first. Then he said, help Sita to board. But Lakshmana understood the spirit. What does Rama intend? Rama is intending that Sita should be carefully helped to board the boat. And so, having understood it perfectly, that is why he said, Sarvam Apratikulayam. Having understood it perfectly, the intent of Rama, what did he do? He first helped Sita board first. Maithilim Purvam Aropya Aruroha Atmavan Tataha. After that, he has boarded. Instead of Lakshmana boarding first and giving a hand to Sita, then that will look inappropriate. Whereas Rama could do that way. So instead, Lakshmana understood the point and he helped Sita board first. He held the boat very strongly with his hand so that it doesn't tilt and all, and helped Sita to board it first. And then he boarded so that he is now the protector for Sita there. Atharuroha tejasvi.
अतारुरोह तेजस्वी
Swayam Lakshmana Purvajah.
स्वयं लक्ष्मणपूर्वजः
Tato Nishadadhipatim Patihi.
ततो निषादाधिपतिः
Guho Jnati na Chodayat.
गुहो ज्ञाति न चोदयत्.
So then, after Sita boarded, then Lakshmana boarded. Atha, now, Tejasvi Lakshmana Purvajaha Swayam Aruroha. Rama doesn't need help, right? He can easily board it himself. So Swayam Aruroha, he boarded the boat himself. And which Rama? Lakshmana Purvajaha. Instead of saying directly Rama, he wants to say Lakshmana Purvajaha. Lakshmana is important here. So Lakshmana's are like born before Lakshmana is Lakshmana Purvajaha. Lakshmana Agrajaha, Bharata Agrajaha. That's how Rama is identified. Not just Rama, Rama, Rama always. He belongs to all these people who proudly take his name. So Rama's name is also taken by their names. Sitapatihi. Hanuma Anjaneya Patihi or Hanumapatihi. Likewise, Lakshmana Agrajaha, Bharata Agrajaha, Lakshmana Purvajaha, Dasharathihi, Kausalyanandanaha, Ikshvakunandanaha. He belongs to so many of them. And so his name is taken by taking their names first. So Lakshmana Purvajaha, Tejasvi, Swayam Atha Aruroha. Tataha, after that, after boarding it, then Nishadadhipatihi Guhaha Jnatin Achodayat. Then he has looked at all the Jnatis and he said, I think, he just gave an eye gesture to all his Jnati. Jnatis is all his known people, all his acquaintances, all his staff who have come along with him. He just looked at them and gave a nod in a way, an eye nod, just a gesture from eye. Achodayat means he has sort of told them what to do, but not through words. Then Raghavopi Mahatejaha
राघवोऽपि महातेजः
Navamaruhya Tam Tataha
नावम् आरुह्य तां ततः
Brahmavat Kshatravat Chaiva
ब्रह्मवत् क्षत्रवच्चेव
Jajapahitam
जजापहितात्मनः
So Raghavah api Mahatejaha Tataha Navam Aruhya Tam Navam Aruhya. So then Raghava also, having boarded that boat and seated himself properly in whatever place he thought is appropriate for him. Now he is looking, he's appearing, not looking, he's appearing in two forms, within two graces. One, Brahmavat. He's looking like a Brahmas, meaning Brahmana, because of his jata, his chira, kusha chira, chira, which is that very normal cloth, non-rich cloth. But at the same time, kshatravat chaiva. He's also looking like a kshatriya, which is holding his dhanush, holding his banatunira, and all of that. So on one hand, he looks like Brahmana. On the other hand, he looks like kshatriya. So Brahmavat kshatravat chaiva jajapa hitam atmanaha. He started doing japa, jajapa. Japa means not necessarily taking a mala and doing it, but he's for giving himself positive instructions. Atmanaha hitam jajapa. So he was, for himself. I mean, whatever he has to do, now he's doing. What is he doing? Here onwards, you will see beautiful. Abba, you will think. And so we should learn to practice these things. Here onwards, it's very, very important, Sarga. I wish all our daughters and young married women, etc., they will all listen to this. Next onwards. Okay. So, Achamya cha yatha shastram
आचम्य च यथा शास्त्रम्
nadim tam sahasitaya
नदीं तां सहसीतया
pranamat priti samhrishtaha
प्राणमप्रीति सम्पृष्टः
Lakshmanaschamita prabha. Lakshmanaschamita prabha.
लक्ष्मणश्चामितप्रभः.
So, jajapa, he said, right? How do you start japam or anything? You start any daiva karyam first with achamanam. Achamya is of any of our manuals, puja manuals or upakaranams, etc. They will all start with achamya, Keshavaya swaha. That's how we start. So, achamya, Rama sat in the boat. Before starting the boat, you will do some prayer. To start any prayer, you start with achamanam. So achamnya yatha shastram means as prescribed by shastras. Why? What does he mean there? For example, I come from Yajurveda, and so for us, we start with Keshavaya Namaha, Narayana Swaha, Madhvaya Swaha. There are others who start with Achyutaya Namaha, Anantaya Namaha, Govindaya Namaha. Right? So different sampradayas. So as per Rama's sampradaya, yatha shastram achamya cha nadim tam nadim sahasitaya pranamat means pranamam kritavan. He looked at and did pranama to the nadi, saying, Nadi, oh hey Ganga, please carefully help us to cross over whatever prayer you want to make. And I'm sure most of us do this, but just trying to recollect. Like, for example, as soon as I board the flight and we sit and it is taxiing and is about to fly, I quickly chant all the prayers that I know. It starts with Vinayaka, then Sri Rama, and then Hanuman especially. Hanuman, please help us fly. You are the wind. Please help us fly all of the passengers here and us carefully so that we land there. So this is our sampradaya. Any travel we take up, we pray the means, we pray the vehicle, we pray the driver, we pray the times to safely, carefully help us reach to the destiny. And this is the sampradaya which Rama also has been following. So Ganga Tam Nadim Sahasitaya, along with his wife Sita, Pranamat means Pranamam Anamat. Namati Anamat Pranamati Anamat Pranamat Priti Samhrishtaha, with love, Priti Samhrishtaha, with very happy, delightful, accomplished heart, because he's now happy that okay, whatever promises made by father in obligatory or voluntarily or involuntarily, they are all going to be fulfilled now. I'm a good son, I'm happy, I'm proud, like that. So Priti Samhrishtaha, Lakshmanascha Amita Prabhaha. Lakshmana also did pranama to Ganga Nadi, because if brother Rama does, he does it blindly, whatever. So Lakshmanascha Amita Prabhaha, with unlimited glow. Amita Prabhaha Lakshmanascha Pranamat. Then after that Achamanam and Namaskara to the Ganga, then he looked back to all those waiting on the shore. Anujnaya Sumantrancha
Anujnaya
Sumantrancha
Sabalam Chaiva Tam Guham
Sabalam Chaiva Tam Guham
Asthayanavam Ramastu
Asthayanabam Ramastu
Chodayamasya Navikan.
Chodayamasa Navikan.
So Sumantram Sabalam Guham Tam Chaiva Anujnaya. Now he let go. That means he looked at, in fact, Ajnaya, Anujnaya. Anujnaya is sort of by following the Ajna, which means by following the permission taken to leave. Abhi Ajna leta hoon. That's our usual Ajna dijiye. That means let me go. That's our usual sampradaya, right? You all know. So that is how, because where did that usage come from? Came from Sanskritam. Anujnaya means by taking the anujna, by taking the permission to leave. Sumantram cha sabalam tam guham cha eva, by taking permissions from Sumantra and with all the armed forces of Guha as well. Navam asthaya Ramaha, by situated in the boat, Rama, Navikan Chodayamasa. He has now looked at the rowers and told them, sort of Chodayamasa means, guys, we can start now. So here is another important point to know, in all, including that great song that I told you, right? That Guha sings, Ramayatandriyo, Ramayatandriyo, I sang. But Guha doesn't row the boat. In all our normal stories that we know colloquially, we think Guha was rowing the boat and taking Rama, crossing them. But no, Guha, Sumantra and all, Guha along with his armed forces and Sumantra, they are all waiting on the shore when Rama has ordered them. He looked towards them and waved a hand and sort of nodded his head in a way saying that, okay, now I am leaving, which means, please give me permission to leave. That means you also can leave. Having given that, then he turned around and there are rowers already sitting in the boat, Karnadharaha, and to them, Navikaha, to them he looked at and given them a gesture to now start. That means, unlike what we know, it is not Guha who has rowed the boat, but his as designated rowers, Navikas, they have sailed the boat for Rama. Right? Important lesson. Not lesson, important point, information, fact. ततस्तैश्चोदिता सानौः
ततस्तैश्चोदिता सानौः
कर्णधारसमाहिता
कर्णधारः समाहिता
शुभस्प्यवेगाभिहता
शुभस्य वेगाभिहाता
शीघ्रं सलिलमत्यगात्.
शीघ्रं सलिलमत्यगात्.
So tataha, then once Rama gave the chodanam, that means once he approved the navikas to start, tataha sa nauhu, that boat, Karnadhara Samahita, along with the Karnadhara, means several roars, that those big roars on both sides, and several of them, because there are navikaha, not just one. That means it is a big boat with several navikaha, both probably in the front and to the rear end. On both ends, there are multiple captains to sail that boat and several rows. So Karnadhara Samahita sa nauhu taihi chodita. Taihi means by who? By Bahuvachanam. That means there are several people. By several of these rowers, by several of these captains who will now sail this boat. Taihi chodita Karnadhara Samahita sa nauhu Shubhaspya Vegabhihata. Shubhaspya Vegabhihata. Once they, what do you say? We know how they roar, right? You will first, with your hands, you will pull the roar down so that the stick raises up in air. Then you take forward, lower it down, and then pull it. So that now this stick roar is hitting the waters and pushing the water behind so that the boat moves forward. That, in a way, sort of that hurting process of raising the stick, hitting the water, dipping the stick, the roar into the water, pushing the water back, all of that is abhigata. In a way, hurt. So, but he's saying Shubha. Shubhaspya Vega Abhihata. To increase the velocity, to increase the speed. Vega Abhihata. Shubhaspya Vega Abhihata. Shighram Salilam Atyagat. Slowly, or not slowly, quickly, the boat picked the speed. And Shighram, quickly, Salilam Atyagat, started crossing the waters. So that means they started picking up the speed and going far away off the sight of Guha, Sumantra, and his forces waiting on the shore. Madhyam tu samanuprapya
मध्यं तु समनुप्राप्य
Bhagirathyaastvanandita
भागीरथ्यास्त्वनन्दिता
Vaidehi Pranjalirбhutva
वैदेही प्राञ्जलिर्भूत्वा
Tam Nadimidam Abravit.
तां नदीमिदमब्रवीत्.
So here onwards, he is teaching us, especially all mothers and women, how Sita prays. And so that we can also repeat that practice that style of Sita ji, of offering prayers for the welfare of their family. So Madhyam tu Samanuprapya, by reaching the middle of what? Bhagirathyaha. That means Bhagirathi is Ganga, because Bhagiratha brought it, and we read the Ganga Avataranam, right, in Balakanda, where Vishwamitra narrates it, the whole story, long story, which runs into several sargas, right? So Ganga got that name Bhagirathi. Bhagirathasya jata Bhagirathi, or Bhagirathasya imam. iti Bhagirathi. So Bhagirathi, and of that Bhagirathi is Bhagirathyah. Bhagirathyaha madhyam tu samanuprapya, having reached the center of that Bhagirathi, that means they have reached almost the center. They were crossing horizontally to go to the other side, and having reached midway, tu anindita Sita, the unblemished, impeccable Sita, Vaidehi, Pranjalir Bhutva, now she got into Pranama, Pranjali Mudra, Tam Nadim Idam Abravit. She started talking this to Nadi. Putro Dasharathasya
पुत्रो दशरथस्यायं
Maharajasya Dhimatah
महाराजस्य धीमतः
Nidesham Palayatvemam
निदेशं पालयत्वं
Palayatvemam
पालयत्वेवं
Gange Tvadabhirakshitah.
गंगे त्वदभिरक्षितः.
First she is saying, Hey Gange, ayam Dasharathasya putraha, ayam Maharajasya Dhimatah Dasharathasya putraha. She is first started praying for her husband. First thing. So she is saying, Hey Gange, this man of mine is the son of the Dhiman Maharaja Dasharatha. His son is my man. Nidesham Palaya Tvam Imam. Please protect, please rule. Nidesham. Nidesham is in a way, Nirdesha in a way. Please follow or please protect. Nidesham Palayitva. So one who has obeyed the orders of the king, right? Nidesham Palayitva imam tvat abhirakshitaha. Hopefully he will be protected by you. Tvat abhirakshitaha, protected by you. Please take care of, the son of Dasharatha who has obeyed his father's orders, commands, and have come here. And so, what is that order? Chaturdashahi Varshani
चतुर्दशहि वर्षाणि
Samagranyushya Kanane
समग्राण्युष्य कानने
Bhratra Saha Maya Chaiva
भ्रात्रा सह मया चैव
Punah Pratyagamishyati.
पुनः प्रत्यागमिष्यति.
This Rama, who will be as protected by you, shall, along with myself and his brother Lakshmana, after 14 years living in the forest properly, we shall return back. We shall, though we are crossing you now, please protect us so that we shall come back together after 14 years, after successful completion of living in exile in forests for 14 years. Chaturdashahi Varshani Kanane Samagrani Ushya. Ushya means Vasam Kritva is Ushya. So after living for 14 years in the forests, Bhratra Saha Maya Chaiva, along with me and my brother and his brother, Punaha Pratyagamishyati. This Rama, along with me and his brother, we shall come back after 14 successful completion of the years of living in the forest. Tatastvam Devi Subhage. Can you hear me?
ततत्वां देवी सुभगे
Kshemena Punaragata
क्षेमेण पुनरागता
Yakshe Pramudita Gange
यक्षे प्रमुदिता गंगे
Sarva Kama Samruddhini.
सर्वकाम समृद्धिनी.
So she is saying, after we come back, tataha, once we return back, Devi, O Ganga, O lady, Devi, Subhage, one who sets or one who gives the paths, sets the paths of auspiciousness. Shubham Gamayati Subhaga. Or Shubham is also with Sundaram, Su. So Subhaga, one who has, or the other way is, one who has Bhaga is, that's powers, Bhagavati, Bhaga. Subhaga, one who has auspicious powers, most powerful one is Subhaga. And addressing her, He Subhage, He Devi, Kshemena Punaragata, having returned back safely, Yakshye, Pramudita, having come back safely, and Pramudita, being delighted then, Gange, Sarvakama Samruddhini, having fulfilled all the wishes as required, that without any anxieties, with no more suspenses, no more mysterious things, having fulfilled all 14 years happily, Tvam Yakshye, means I shall, after coming back, I shall do puja, I shall do yajna in a way, worship you. Yakshye in Bahuvachanam, in Bhavishyat Kala. So Tvam Yakshye, Gange, Sarvakama Samruddhini, Kshemena Punaragata, Tvam Devi Subhage, Pramudita Aham Yakshye, is how Sita ji is praying.
What is Kshemen? Kshemen?
Kshemena means with Kshema. Kshema is safety, having come back safely. Got it?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
So, Tvamhit Tripathaga Devi,
Tvamhi
Devi,
Brahmalokam Samikshase,
Brahmalokam Samikshase,
Bharya Chodadhi Rajasya,
Bharyam Chodati Rajasya,
Lokesmin Sampradrishyase.
Lokesmin Sampradashyase.
So he's saying, oh Devi, Tvamhi Tripathaga, you are called as Tripathaga, one who goes in three paths, in three different directions. Touching where? One Brahmalokam, the region Brahmalokam, Samikshase, you go to Brahmaloka and you also see, you get a good vision there, get a good, good sight, ensure that everything is looking good there. Asmin Loke, and in this world also, which means in Bhuloka, Swarloka, Brahmaloka. Swarloka is Brahmaloka, both are same, which is all the upper worlds. And then Asmin Loke, that means on this earthly world. And Udadhirajasya means the underworlds also. So Tripathaga. Udadhirajasya Bharyacha Sampradrishyase. Samyak Pradrishyase. We are able, you are able to see the Brahmaloka, this loka, and of the underworlds also. You are able to see all the three worlds. You are the one who has the reach to all the three worlds, and you give auspiciousness there, and so you go and verify that everything is also looking good there. Samyak Prakrishtena Drishyase, Sampradrishyase. Satvam Devi Namasyami, Satvam Devi Namasyami,
Satvam Devi Namasyami,
Prashamsami cha Shobhane,
Prashansami cha Shobhane,
Prapta Rajye Naravyagre,
प्राप्त्यराज्ये नरव्याघ्रे
शिवेन पुनरागते
शिवेन पुनरागते
Punaragate. It is there continuous. The sentence didn't complete there. So we'll continue to the next sloka also. Shivena Punaragate.
शिवेन पुनरागते
Gavam Shatasahasram cha
गवां शतसहस्रं च
Vastranyannam cha Peshalam
वस्त्राण्यं च पेशलं
Brahmanebhyah Pradasyami
ब्राह्मणेभ्यः प्रदास्यामि
Tava Priya Chikirshaya.
तव प्रिय चिकीर्षया.
So these two slokas together is one long sentence. So she is praying and saying this, making the vows. Sa tvam, sa, such me, tvam, unto you, Devi, namasyami, means I am doing namaskaras. Prashamsami, I am doing praises. That means I am doing stotras. Prashamsanam, prashamsa, prashamsami, cha shobhane, O Shobhana, O Shobhane. Shobhana means one who gives Shubham. Shubham, the embodiment of Shubham is Shobhanam. Shobhane, ye Shobhane. Not only am I going to do this Namaskara now I am doing just Namaskara because I have nothing else in my hands. We are Riktastas. But Praptarajye Naravyagre Shivena Punaragate, after in that future event of attaining the Rajya, the kingdom back, Prapta Rajye Punaragate, having attained back the kingdom, Naravyagre of my husband, in his attaining back the kingdom, Shivena, with all the auspiciousness, with the blessings of Shiva, with the auspiciousness. What am I going to do? Gavam Shatasahasram cha. I shall hundreds of thousands of cows. Vastrani, lots of dresses, clothes. Annam cha, lot of grains and food grains and all other food materials. Peshalam, in abundance. Brahmanebhyah pradasyami. This is all in Bhavishyat Kala, right? I shall provide, or I shall donate hundreds of thousands of cows with lots of dresses and lots of food grains and in abundance. I shall give all this to Brahmanas, to all the learned scholars. Tava Priya Chikirshaya. Chikirsha is Kartum Ichha, Chikirsha. What Kartum Ichha? Priyam Kartum Ichha is Priya Chikirsha. With that Priya Chikirsha, with that intent of pleasing you, O Shobhane Gange, in obtaining back our kingdom by my husband Naravyagra, with all the auspiciousness, with no resistance and no untowardly events, I shall, to please you, donate all these things on your behalf. So that means Ganga will be pleased if we give all these donations to the right people. If you just throw them in Ganga, well, that is one level of offering. But instead of throwing it into Ganga, we should learn from here, from Sita ji and Ramayanam, that we should offer it to deserving people. Then Ganga will be happy. Then gods will be happy. Then Agni will be happy and all others. So, Tava Priya Chikirshaya Brahmanebhyah Pradasyami. Kim Pradasyami? Shatasahasram Gavam cha Vastrani Annam Peshalam cha Kada Naravyaghre Shivena Punaragate Praptarajye Kam Devi Namasyami Prashamsami. So that is how these two shlokas are going. Suraghata Sahasrena
Suraghata Sahasrena
Mamsa Bhutau Danena cha
Mamsa Bhutau Danena cha
Yakshe tvam prayata devi.
Yakshe tvam prayata devi.
Purim punarapagata.
Purim punarupagata.
Now, this next shloka, I don't know if this is original shloka, but it can be natural also. Immediately, for those who might find any discriminations, this shloka is also sort of balancing the act. On one hand, you're saying only for Brahmanas, hey, what about us? You give them annam, what about us? So she's saying, Suraghata Sahasrena, with thousands of pots of, call it liquor or Sura. Suraghata Sahasrena, with thousands of pots of Sura. Mamsa Bhuta Odanena cha, with rice, mutton fried rice. Mamsa Bhuta Odanena, Odanam is rice. Bhuta Odana, Bhuta Udanena, Mamsa Bhuta Udanena, along with mutton fried rice and pots of liquor for our Telangana people. Tvam, she's promising our Telangana guys, because this is common in our Telangana. Nice pots of rice and lots of kallu, tatikallu or whatever, liquor, suraghatam. So Suraghata Sahasrena Mamsa Bhutaudanena cha Tvam Yakshe Prayata Devi Purim Punarupagata. Once we come back into the city, then I shall call all our folks, rural folks and all, and throw a party to all of them with all these rice and liquor and all.
I think this slok doesn't fit here.
Doesn't fit here. That's what even I felt.
Yeah, doesn't fit, but it one thing it can confirm is biryani was found in India. So because
Yes.
even if it's a fake sloka, if it was written long back,
Yeah. Definitely it is not written in 1800 or 1700. That much at
1700.
least, right?
So it is mamsa along with mamsa of rice being served is confirmed in Ramayana Kala itself. And one more thing, Bhabaji, I mean, if you look at it, what Sita Devi is saying is that doing dharma karya is more important, right?
Correct.
When we pray, we say we'll offer this to the temple or whatever. We have to look at whether it's got a dharmic purpose to it.
Correct.
So I'll offer because at the end of it, God wants to distribute and wants to keep everybody happy. If this is a way of keeping somebody else happy, it is fine. Fine.
That's all. Correct.
Babaji, Yaksha means what? Yaja Bhavishyat Kala?
Yaj Bhavishyat Kala.
Okay, thank you.
Yajami is Yakshe. So yeah, that's a point, right? I mean, Tava Priya Chikirshaya, to please you. And so for Ganga, it's not just Brahmanas alone are not her children, right? Everybody is
for Brahmana, go is very important.
Go is important.
For other people, mutton rice in Surah is important. Let it be known. Even if it is that, it is not villainizing anybody for excess of anything is bad. Right?
Correct.
So if it is making people happy, it is fine. That is fine.
Correct. So yeah. So I mean, I'm happy. Yes, it may not seem fitting, but it can also be seen as our balance. As our, no?
Yeah, it is not that only Brahmanas are fit for donation.
Exactly. Everybody will be pleased. And that is why it is Ramarajya.
Yeah,
everybody will be pleased. Everybody will be kept happy.
Everybody will be given what they want. That's all.
What they want. Exactly. Yeah.
What's suitable for them, rather. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Brahmanas to do yajna, vida, etc. So they require, cow, ghee, everything, there for their lifestyle. Sattvic.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Yeah. So we'll continue. Yani tat tiravasini.
Yani tat tiravasini.
Daivatani vasanticha.
Daivatani vasanticha.
Tani sarvani yakshyami.
Tani sarvani yakshyami.
Tirthanyayatanaani cha.
Tirthani ayatanani cha.
Tirthani ayatanani, tirthanyayatanani cha.
Yeah. Tirthanani. If I say it continuously, it is distracting.
So straight split. Tirthani ayatanani cha.
Tirthani ayatanani cha.
So another important thing. So there are a lot of implicit lessons or implicit messages in these shlokas. If you just see the drama, then we get nothing. But the messages are, so Sita ji is realizing, or that means she is a realized soul through the sampradaya, that when she's praying Ganga, she's trying to, what do we mean when we praise, when we worship somebody? We are trying to please them. How do you please? That means you know what are important to them. Whatever are important to them, if you promise that I'm going to take care of them, that means I'm pleasing you. Sita ji is trying to please Ganga by saying, I shall do Tava Priyachikirshaya. She said, first started with Brahmanas, I shall give all this. Then she said, for all Janapadaha, once we reach Purim Punaragata, Mamsa Bhutaudanam Suraghata Sahasram Dasyami. Then she didn't stop there. That means there are a lot more important things for Gangaji. What are they? Yani Tvat Tiravasini. Whatever beings are residents, whatever are residents along your shores, all along you, all the paths that you flow along, there are so many residents along your shores. Tvat means of you. Your shore residents. Who are they? They will be Jalaras. That means the what are they? The fishermen, etc. Right? There could be people who pick shells and sell them, make small trading of them. There will be tribals who will be picking other resources from the rivers and making life there. So and there will be beings. There will be deers who come and drink water. There will be crocodiles, etc. living there. So Tvat Tiravasini Yani Daivatani Vasanti cha. Also, along the shore, there will be so many Daivatani. That's why if we take a real, and there is one good practice also nowadays I'm seeing, they say Narmada Parikrama. People go along the river Narmada. Of course, they take a jeep and go and they don't even stop and all. Ideally, we should be walking and observing. Wherever you see some Daivatani like this, you will stop there and do some worship and say, Ganga ji, Narmada ji, see, I've worshipped here. Are you pleased? Like that, checking constantly. So, Daivatani, similarly, all along the river, you will be seeing so many small, so some places, one small rock, kind of a worshipable entity. Another place, you will see a medium size. There will be another small, bigger temple. Various Daivatani will be present, divinities. It can be Kshetra Devata, Kshetra Palakaha, or it can be the Sthala Purana based Palaka there, Devata there. So whatever are those Daivatani, Yani Daivatani Tvat Tiravasini Vasanti, Tani Sarvani Yakshyami. I shall do Yajanam to all those divine entities who live along with you along the entire shore, or who are also taken care of by you. All those entities, divine entities, I shall come and worship. Tirthani aya ayatanani cha. Tirthani is all these. From Ganga, there will be small tributaries that come out. And there they become tirtha stalas. Also, ayatanam. Ayatanam is a temple. Ayatanam is essentially an abode, a residence. Ayatanam. Ayatanam. Then we have a great mantra in the Mantra Pushpam. There will be ayatanam, ayatanam. And one who realizes that ayatanam, he becomes ayatanavan bhavati. A great spiritual text there called Mantra Pushpam. It starts with what? Agnirva apamayatanam ayatanavan bhavati. It says, right? So where you realize that this is the abode of Agni, you will then become a resident of that abode. Where you realize that this is the abode of water, you become the resident of that abode, and so on. That means realize that this is the residence of all these entities and be carefully living there. Then only you will be eligible to live there. Is in a way ayatanavan bhavati in saying that mantra pushpam. Likewise, all sarvani tirthani ayatanani cha yakshyami. I shall do yaga or yajna or worship them once I come back safely with my husband, obtaining back his kingdom rightfully and dharmic way, without any rebel and all of that. Punareva mahabahu
Punareva mahabahu
maya bhratra cha sangataha
maya bhratra cha sangataha
ayodhyam vanavasattu
ayodhyam vanavasastu
vanavasattu
vanavasastu
no as vanavasat
vanavasattu. Oh yeah, got it. Vanavasattu.
Pravishat vanago naghe
Pravishatva go naghe.
Pravishat vanago naghe.
Vishatvana go naghe.
Beauty, poet, right? So anagha anaghe. Hey Anagha. So she's praying Ganga. So Ganga is sinless. So Anagha. Oh, so in Sambodhana Vibhakti, Hey Anaghe. Hey Anaghe. Punareva. Again, once we come back, Mahabahu, that strong, mighty armed, my husband, Mahabahu, Maya Bhratra cha Sangataha, along with one who has gone away, along with me and his brother, Punareva Ayodhyam Vanavasat tu Ayodhyam Pravishat. Once he enters back from the Vanavasa, once he enters Ayodhya back, Anaghaha means again non-sinless person. But this is Pullinga. Mama Anaghaha, Anaghe Punara, what do you say? Once he comes back, Punareva Mahabahu Maya Bhratra cha Sangataha Vanavasat tu Ayodhyam Pravishatva Anaghaha Anaghe. So Tatha Sambhashamana sa
तथा सम्भाषमाना सा
Sita Gangamanandita
सीता गङ्गामनन्दिता
Dakshinam Tiram
दक्षिणा दक्षिणं तीरं
Kshipramevaabhyupagamat.
क्षिप्रमेवाभ्युपागमत्.
So Sita ji started this prayer from the middle, Madhyam Bhagiratya Madhyam Samanuprapya, having reached that middle. From there she started this. By the time she has completed her prayers, Tatha Sambhashamana. This is the beauty we have to realize. See, prayer doesn't mean an activity. Sambhashamana, it is a sambhashanam. You are conversing with the divinity, whether inside you or outside you. Whether you're with open eyes, you're looking at and talking to that Murti there, or with closed eyes, talking to the divinity within you. But it is a conversation, sambhashanam. One who is doing a conversation in a continuous tense is sambhashamana. Sa Sita tatha sambhashamana anindita, of course, blemishless, unalleged, never alleged. Anindita Sita Gangam Dakshinam Tiram, to the south shore of Ganga, Kshipram eva abhyupagamat. Quickly, while she has been conversing, she didn't even complete her conversation, probably. Quickly, the boat has reached the south shore of Ganga. Dakshinam Tiram Kshipram eva apyubhagamat. Dakshina. She is also Dakshina. One Anindita Dakshina Sita Tatha Sambhashamana Gangam Dakshinam Tiram Kshipram eva abhyupagamat. So poet, so he'll always use similar words in different meanings. Here previous one, Anaghe, Anaghaha Pravishatva. And here Dakshina, Dakshinam Tiram. Here the first Dakshina is Sita. What does Dakshina mean? She is one who is attentive. Daksha. When we say in Sangha also we give Ajna. Daksha means attention. Be attentive now for the next commands coming up. One who is always attentive is Dakshina. Dakshina, Dakshinam Tiram, Kshiprameva Bhyupagamat. I'm thinking, how many more shlokas? Can we spend another 7 minutes or so and complete this sarga? 92, 100, another 10 shlokas we'll quickly cover. Just let's spend 10 more minutes and complete it. Tiram tu samanuprapya.
Tiram tu samanuprapya.
Navam hitva nararshabha.
Navam hitva narishabha.
Pratishtata sahabhratra.
Pratishtata sahabhratra.
Vaidehya cha parantapah.
Vedeya cha parantapah.
So now the next story starts, right? Next chapter, next phase of the story starts. So far, Rama was in Ayodhya and all of that. Now he has even crossed the Ganga. He has entered the south shore of Ganga. From here onwards, the next light of Ramayanam starts. So Tiram tu samanuprapya, having reached the shore properly without any issues. Navam hitva nararshabha, leaving the boat, the bull of the men, Rama, that means the strong Rama, sahabhratra vaidehya, along with his brother and Vaidehi, parantapaha pratishthatha, having left the boat, that means having alighted from the boat on the land. Once he stood on the land, he stood there for a moment. Pratishthatha, he stood there. Tishtati, atishthatha, pratishthatha. He just stood there for a moment. Atha braveen mahabahuhu.
Atha braveen mahabahu.
Sumitranandavardhanam.
Sumitranandavardhanam.
Bhava samrakshanarthaya.
Bhava samrakshanarthaya.
Sajane bijane piva.
Sajane bijane piva.
So first instruction he gave to Lakshmana. As soon as they got off the boat, Atha Mahabahuhu, that mighty armed Rama, Sumitranandavardhanam, one he abravit. Rama said this to one who keeps raising the happiness of Sumitra over and over and over and over and over and over. So Sumitranandavardhanam Mahabahu Atha Abravit. He said this to Lakshmana. What did he say? Lakshmana, Samrakshanarthaya Bhava. You become one who is going to protect. Protect what? Where? Sajane Vijane Apiva. Whether we are in a places where there are people or there are places where there are no people. Inhabited or uninhabited, wherever we go, you will be the protector. Please be the protector. he's saying. Avashyam rakshanam karyam.
Avashyam rakshanam karyam.
Adrishte vijane vane.
Adrishte vijane vane.
Agratah gaccha saumitre.
Agratah gaccha saumitre.
Sita tvam anugacchatu.
Sita tvam anugucchatu.
So he's setting the visual for us. He's saying, Lakshmana, avashyam rakshanam karyam. See, we need to do the protection. We need to offer protection. Adrishte vijane vane, especially in the unseen forests, where we do not know from where any danger might be jumping on us. So, adrishte vijane vane, in the uninhabited, unforeseen forests, agratah saumitre gacha, O Saumitri, Saumitra, tvam agratah gacha, you walk in the front, you lead the path. Sita tvam anugacchatu, let Sita follow behind you. That means I will be behind Sita. So this is the order in which we shall be walking here onwards. Prushtatoham gamishyami.
पृष्ठतोऽहं गमिष्यामि
Tvam cha Sitam cha palayan.
त्वां च सीतां च पालयन्
Anyonyasyehano raksha.
अन्योन्यस्येहनो रक्षा
Kartavya purusharshabha.
कर्तव्या पुरुषर्षभः.
Great lessons to learn. Small shlokas, small messages, but great messages. So, Prushtataha aham gamishyami. I shall be behind. Agrataha tvam gaccha. Aham Prushtataha gamishyami. And why? Tvam cha Sitam cha palayan. By protecting you and Sita also. Because I shall be behind, I can see both of you. I shall protect both of you if anything happens to you. And he's saying, Anyonyasya iha no raksha kartavya. We have to protect each other. You are in the front, you protect us. I'm from the back, I shall protect you. Cooperatively, anyonyasya raksha kartavya purusharshabha. In fact, if you see any of our pujas also, Satyanarayana Vratam or any of these puja, the Archaka there, he says, Anyonya Sahakarena, he says, because the puja will not be complete until the Ratha, that is one who is taking up the Vratam, he has to perform correctly as instructed by the Archaka. And the Archaka has to instruct and provide all the materials in time, aptly, correctly. So together they should cooperate with each other and make the act successful. That anyonya sahakaram, how important it is conveyed through the small message here. Anyonyasya ihano raksha kartavya purusharshabha. Purusharshabha, we have to protect each other, that is important. That means cooperate mutually. Nahi tavadatikranta.
न हि तावदतिक्रान्ता
Sukara kachana kriya.
सुकरा काचन क्रिया
Adya dukkham tu vaidehi.
अद्य दुःखं तु वैदेही
Vanavasasya vetsyati.
वनवासस्य वेत्स्यति.
That is the most painful thing he's saying. Nahi tavadatikranta. Well, it is not very past anyway. I mean, it is still very fresh in our memories, and it is we just started. So, nahi tavad atikranta sukara kachana kriya. In no activity yet, kachana kriya atikna sukara atikranta. We haven't yet faced any difficulty that we have crossed comfortably, easily yet. Adya tu dukham. However, I am feeling hurt, I am feeling difficulty. Because Vaidehi vanavasasya vetsyati. Are, I told her not to come, but she, poor loving lady, she couldn't leave me and she came along with me. That's the only difficulty. See, you and I, we have fought so many Rakshasas. We know. We have lived on the camp along with Vishwamitra when we were going along with him. So we have faced, it is easy for us. But poor Vaidehi, today onwards, she will also be facing this vanavasam. And so that is what is hurting me. Dukkham tu Vaidehi vanavasasya vetsyati. Pranashta jana sambadham
Pranashta jana sambhadam.
kshetrarama vivarjitam
Kshetrarama vivarjitam.
vishamancha prapatamcha
Vishamancha prapatamcha.
vanam hyadya pravekshyati.
Varam yahtya pravishyati.
So such Sita, poor lady, pranashta jana sambadham. She is used to always, playing around all other people, her girl friends, her elderly aunties, her elderly other women, grandmothers, etc. She was always around people. Now, pranashta jana sambadham. There is no people around in this lonely places, deserted places. Kshetrarama vivarjitam. And these places, there are no more going to be kshetras. Sita ji every Friday will go to, let's say, Lakshmi temple. Every Thursday, she will go to maybe some other temple. Every Tuesday, she will go to this Shanigraha and all. So she would go to so many kshetras every day and offer pujas there, offer vastras, danam, etc. to people around there. Now, kshetra vivarjitam, there is no more kshetras here. Once in a while, she would go to Arama, Daksharama, we say there is one Daksharama in coastal Andhra along the Godavari. Arama is where sort of, in a way, resort, but not for enjoyment, but more of a divinely resorts, spiritual resorts, are Aramas. So, Kshetrarama vivarjitam, this place where there are devoid of any kshetras and aramas, vishamancha prapatancha, and there could suddenly be any odd thing that could happen here. Vishamancha prapatancha, vanam hi adya pravekshyati. Ayyo, this poor Sita is going to enter this forest with all these difficulties. I feel so sorry, so guilty for her that I married her, but I'm giving all these troubles to her. That is the guilt Rama is feeling and is saying it out, thinking it loud. Shrutva Ramasya Vachanam.
Shrutva Ramasya Vachanam
Pratisthe Lakshmanogratah.
Pratisthe Lakshmanogratah
Anantarancha Sitayaha.
Anantarancha Sitayaha
Raghavo Raghunandanaha.
Raghavo Raghunandanaha.
So Ramasya Vachanam Shrutva Lakshmanaha Agrataha Pratisthe. By listening to Rama's orders, Lakshmana stood in the front. Anantarancha Sitayaha Raghavaha Raghunandanaha. After that, behind Sita, Raghunandana Raghava also stood there. Gatam tu Ganga Param Ashu.
Gatam tu Ganga paramashu.
Ramam Sumantrah Patatam Nirikshya.
Ramam sumantra padatam nirikshya.
Adva Prakarshad Vinivritta Drishtihi.
Adva prakashadvinivritta hrustihi.
Mumocha Bashpam
Mamocha bashpam
Vyathitas Tapasvi.
vititas tapasvi.
So, Gatam tu Ganga Param. Gatam tu Ganga Param. Having crossed the Ganga, Param is the other side of the Ganga. Having crossed it, Ashu. Instantly, Ramam Sumantraha Ramam Pratatam Nirikshya. Now they have already reached the other end. So now the camera is turning back to this end where Sumantra was still waiting. What were their reactions? He's showing. So it's a visual, a perfect movie video that Valmiki is narrating. Every person's camera faces everybody, so we can see what is going on everywhere. So Sumantraha Gangam Param tu Gatam Ramam Pratatam Nirikshya, by having observed continuously, having remained to observe Rama, that Rama who has quickly crossed the Ganga over, instantly Ashu Sumantraha Adhva Prakarshat, because of his attraction for Rama, Vinivritta Drishtihi, having lost the sight of him, with lot of affection for him, but having lost the sight of him, Bashpam Mumocha, he has tears flew out of, or tears fell out of the eyes of Sumantra. Vyathitaha tapasvi, that tapasvi Sumantra, who has, what was his tapas? Of seeking welfare of this Ikshvaku's dynasty for so long. Such tapasvi, for a moment, having lost the sight of his affectionate beloved Rama, but having, believed that Rama has crossed the Ganga on the other side, having lost sight of him, for a moment, tears slipped through out of his eyes. That's the love affection. So that is why you see Brahma gave the sight vision to Valmiki to see everything, rahasyancha prakashancha, whatever was public, whatever was not known to anybody other than each entity individual there. Valmiki could see everybody's emotions, everybody's feelings, and is able to document it for us and present it to us. Salokapala Pratima Prabhavavan
स लोकपालप्रतिं प्रभावान्
Tirtva Mahatma Varado Mahanadim
तीर्त्वा महात्मा वरदो महानदीम्
Tatas Samruddhan Shubhasasya Malina
ततः समृद्धान् सुभसस्यमालिनः
Kramena Vatsan Muditanupagamat.
क्रमेण वत्सान् मुदितानुपागमत.
So Mahatma, that great soul, Varadaha, one who always is the bestower of boons, giver of boons. Lokapala Pratibhav Lokapala Pratiprabhavavan, one who Lokapala Pratim Aprabhavavan, or Lokapala Pratiprabhavavan, one who Prabhavam Yasya Prabhavavan, one who the influencer toward Lokapalas. That means he influences the Lokapalas. Unto those Lokapala Pratibhavavan, Saha, unto one who influences even the Lokapalas, Prati, toward them. Lokapala Pratima Aprabhavavan. Lokapala Pratiprabhavavan, Mahatma Varadaha Mahanadim Tirtva, by crossing that Mahanadi Ganga. Tataha, from there, Samruddhan Shubha Sasyamalinaha Vatsyan Kramena Muditan Kramena Upagamat. He has crossed all the abundant, wealthy, green, rich green greenery on the south side. Kramena, slowly as he is walking, he was observing all that beautiful greenery. Vatsyan and all the other beings that live there, Muditan, happily living there, Upagamat, he reached there. Tau tatra hatva chaturah mahamrugan.
तौ तत्र हत्वा चतुरः महामृगान्
Varahamrishyam prushatam maharurum.
वराहमृष्यं पृषतं महारुरुम्
Adaya medhyam tvaritam bubukshitau.
आदाय मेध्यं त्वरितं बुभुक्षितौ
Vasaya kale yayaturvanah patim.
वासाय काले ययतुर्वणः पतिम्
So again, this also might seem a little out of the style and the context, but let's take it. So, Tatra, having reached there, now it has been, they woke up in the morning, that night, previous night also, they remained in the Upavasa, they didn't eat anything. So probably Bhubukshitau, they were hungry. Bhubukshitau, what did they do? They Mahamrugan Hatva. I mean, the reason I feel this is slightly Kshipra or Kshiptam, not aptly fitting here, is because even if they were hungry, they would kill one Mrugam. Why would they kill Mahamrugan? So that is slightly illogical, but let's take whatever is there, we are reading it. So Mahamrugan Chaturaha, they are very smart Mrugas, smart beasts. They have Hatva, they've killed it, they've hunted and quickly killed it, killed them rather. Chaturaha, which means they can quickly jump, slide, hide, again run. So they are very smart and swift Mrugas. Even such Mrugas also, these two brothers have very swiftly killed them. Varaham Rashyam, like boar, kind of a big, the wild pig, the forest pig. Varaham Rashyam. Varaham Rashyam. Rashyam is a deer kind of a one, antelope. Rashyam. Rishyasringa, that's why that Rishi's name also, right? Because he has the horns like a antelope. So Rishyasringa, Rishyam. Varaham, Rishyam, Prushatam. Prushatam is another deer. Prushatam. Maharurum. Maharurum is another deer. So what the Bhashyam is saying, Prushatam is one with the spots, that dark spots on the deer. And Maharurum is a deer with stripes, dark stripes along. So Varaham, Rishyam, Prushatam, Maharurum, and they are very, because they can quickly jump and all, right? But such ones also they could kill. Chaturaha, Mrugan Hatva, Medhyam. Medhyam is just the edible part of it, which is just the mamsam, the meat. Tvaritam Adaya, by bringing it quickly fresh. Kale Vasaya Vanaspatim Yayatuhu. They went to find a tree from where they can get some big leaves on which they can put this meat and bring and offer it to Sita also and eat. Well, whatever, doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's more than what Pride of Lions can eat, Bogaji. So
exactly. How can just three people eat a Varaha, a Rishyam, a Purushottam?
One animal, one entire pride eats. This is Shukra.
So that's why I felt this is out of
not logical. Not logical.
Illogical. Yeah, if you say they killed one, Mruga and ate, we can understand. This is slightly illogical. Probably somebody inserted it out of. See, whatever we are seeing today is sort of frozen text, because once the printing and all started and printed text came, then it became sort of frozen. But till that time, it was vocally narrated, right? So once in a while there is some Pandita, but out of his own aptitude, they might have, through narration itself. See, for example, even while narrating, if I'm a Pandita, I can narrate it as another shloka. So once there are some such shlokas probably narrated by some of the narrators in those different places, and their followers remembered that, and it would have come like that. Guaranteed, not every shloka is originally written by Valmiki. That's a known research also, approved research also, which says there are several shlokas which are later inserts, later edits, later versions. But anyways, the point is they were hungry. They have acquired some food for Sita, and 3 of them had the food there. Vanavasaya kale, in time, vanaha patim vanaspatim yayuhu, they went onto a tree. See, vanaspatim yayuhu, this is more important. They eat the herbs. That is probably more apt. But anyway, we are very late today, sorry, but we completed the sarga, the long sarga of 102 shlokas. Ityarshe Srimad Ramayane
Srimad
Valmiki
Valmiki
Adi Kavye
Adikavye
Kande
Kande
Vipanchasha Sargah.
Vipanchasah Sargah.
Jai Shri Ram.
धन्यवाद।
Shanti mantra.
ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।